I feel very grateful and excited. I think anytime that I have a lot of empathy for people that are buying homes, because obviously I've bought and sold a lot of homes. I've helped a lot of people do it. So I'm usually the one person that's in the know on what to do. I would say that being in Puerto Rico, buying and selling a home, the process is completely different. Regardless of the process, when you don't know the process, that creates uncertainty, lack of clarity, and when you have that, you feel out of control. And so what makes you feel in control is having information and access to people who are pros. So I feel like I have a higher level of appreciation on why people always need a real estate agent, if for sure in Puerto Rico, and an attorney. But I'm super grateful. I feel like, the kind of the backstory is in 2020, I came to Puerto Rico wanting to see if it was a place that, my family could relocate to. And I looked around the island, ended up in Dorado Beach. And that resulted in me having to fly back several times, staying at the Ritz, which is a beautiful 6-star Ritz Reserve. Spent a lot of time, traveling around the neighborhood trying to find houses. And due to many different factors, the real estate market here, like everywhere else, went up considerably. And one thing that happened by circumstance was we got our house sight unseen. When we first moved here, we had never seen our house. My family shows up literally at the airport 30 minutes before midnight on, December 31st. We drive straight to the house. We obviously take possession that night. We have beds that have been opened by my business partner, Jay Kinder. They're all fluffed up. And, that first few days was pretty tough. Just because we hadn't seen the house. It was being totally remodeled. We hadn't seen even pictures. At some point, the real estate agent was instructed to not even give us pictures. I don't know if they thought that would scare us off, but we had put $100,000 down, non-refundable, to lock in the opportunity to buy the home within 15 months. All right, we're here at the house. We actually closed. One of the best things, I want to say thank you to everybody. Very grateful. But anyway, amazing. See, we've got people over here on the golf course playing golf. This is the 15th hole. I believe they refer to that as the Pineapple Course here in Dorado Beach. And we're located right off of the north gate. But come on in, I'm going to show you a very brief, this isn't MTV Cribs, but at least since you watched the video so far, I wanted to give you the things that I'm excited about. That's actually an entry I use right there. I use that for my office, which is actually really nice when all of the kids are inside doing the things that kids do inside, like be noisy. Someone can come right in and they can keep their dinosaurs. This is my big, let's see if he's gonna listen. And so today is technically month 13, and we are headed to close on that home. Again, we locked in the house at $6.2 million, and the house appraised for $10 million. This is a beautiful lot. It's over, I think it's over around 3,400 square meters. You can do the conversion of that. I don't know what that turns out to, but it's just under an acre. Huge lot. This is probably my most favorite part of the house. It's not clean because it's used. We use this porch. This is where we do all of our hanging out, grilling. Got the old Traeger. Huge outdoor patio. We set up out here, watch UFC, football, cook out. The lot goes all the way down there to the water. If you were to fly up in a drone, you would literally see the ocean right on the other side of those trees. So anyway, it's a great lot. Back in August, I believe, is when they did their appraisal, maybe September. And I think the argument would be made by some of me and my colleagues is it's just really supply and demand. Where we live, there's, I believe, 2,500 acres with just over, don't quote me on this, but I think there's like 3,000 homes. First guy I met owns this house. He bought it for $7 million. He was offered 40 from Argentina. So here's the word. It is a community. I fell in love with the people. I've made a lot of relationships, a lot of people that I think in community you share a certain set of beliefs and, values.
Hola, hola.
now those communities are no longer in neighborhoods. Like when I grew up, we had a cul-de-sac, and all of my friends were friends in the cul-de-sac, you know, and I hadn't felt that until I moved to Dorado. I did actually feel that a little bit in my last neighborhood. It was pretty amazing, but more so here, because so many people here share the commonality of they left where they were from, right? They all share the commonality of they don't know anybody when they get here, and their kids don't either. And so like people get into this natural spirit of, you know, community and meeting other people, and I think that that's been unquantifiable, the number one benefit. I've even said, you know, all the other benefits combined are great, but the people that I met here, the locals and the people that have, you know, moved here are so amazing. So obviously for me, I've decided to make this island my home and closing on the biggest real estate transaction of my life. The Reese family is going to be super stoked to take on the next chapter. You know, there's a difference between a house and a home, right? Like really being able to, you know, do the things that we want to do to our place to make it more long-term, more suitable for us. And this is our amazing conference room. I like to say conference room because I'm actually looking at doing an event at my house, and this room is huge. I figured I could fit a lot of people in here, but we can also play horse, right? A little bit of horse. You know, when you got 3 little boys, you always have to have the basketball and rim. At the same time, it appears to have been a good investment. I think it has, and that's what I'm thinking on the way. On the way back, I'll share with you a little bit of insight on the process and the lessons I learned. All right, I'll be back.
All right, good luck.
All right.
You got
Be
this.
safe. I'll text you. We closed.
Yay, congratulations.
What are you doing? Yeah, I'll have to tell you about the whole experience, but it went great.
I was like getting a little nervous. How does it feel to have this whole thing finished? The late nights, the papers, 24 hours, all of it. Tell me what it's like.
Well, the way that it feels right, the way that I feel right now is I feel like it's done. And I can tell you, you know, anytime that you're doing a real estate deal, you never want to jinx it. Like that's number one. So I didn't want to, on the drive here, I didn't want to get into a bunch of the stuff, but I will tell you officially, and I am grateful just for the record, but it's officially closed, it's done. When it comes to like taking your mind space and like, which is almost like taking, to me, like taking your life, and I'm sad to admit it, but I mean, it took a lot of my mind space. A lot of late nights, a lot of paperwork, a lot of promises not kept. But again, it just gave me a different perspective of what it's like to be in the buyer's position. I think people across the country should be really grateful for their banking systems. You know, it can always be worse. Don't take it for granted, because I'm sure that the systems that exist today that help people get home ownership, that ain't like that everywhere. There's some people where they come from, they gotta wait years and years and go through. I mean, you know, when they say they want to create ownership for people and all of these things to stimulate the economy. You know, there's one thing to have that be said, and there's another thing to have actual, you know, the ability to buy but not be able to buy. I mean, I'll give you context. So the house that I'm buying, you know, here on the island, anything over, you can't get a loan for over 4 million. At least it's very hard to get a loan for over 4 million. You can do it, but they have to, it's extremely difficult, extremely time consuming. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's not even worth it. However, I was able to come into contact with One Trust Home Loans. My boy Josh and Ian and Jessica Rock, all of those people, her name's Jessica and she does rock, but all of those people, man, they came in on December 21st. I had flown back from Orlando. I had a meeting out in Orlando, met with some people within EXP and me and my business partner Jay, Flew out there to have a discussion, and then when I came back, I just was tired of, every month I was getting thrown to a different person to purchase this house. You know, different person every month, a different person. I just got tired of it. And so I had to close by March 31st, which obviously today is January 28th. Anyway, I had to close by March 21st, and they had told me I was going to close in December. This was the third time that they had asked me the same question for the same thing, just a different person taking over my account, right? It's like terrible, terrible experience. And so after the third time, I was like, listen, they're going to keep doing this to me all the way up until closing, and I'm going to end up losing this deal. And so I brainstormed, because I knew that every problem is usually first a who, then before what. Like, who do I know that can help me with this situation? And I just said, I was like a parachute. I said to myself months and months and months before, if it gets to this date, instead of pushing it down the road and say, you know what, I'm not going to mess with this till after Christmas, I went ahead and jumped on it right then. And as a result, ended up being the best decision that I ever made. I'm glad I took action. I can tell you living life on offense is a lot better than living life on defense. And I can tell you right now that being proactive in your life about things that you need to be, maybe consider doing, being proactive is way better than not. Because for me, my proactiveness is the only reason that this deal got done. Period. Only reason. So this is going to be a brief tour. Like I said, I just wanted to. One of the things is I'm having a baby in like 4 days, and so I'm heading out to get. If you've ever had a baby, you know that's kind of a process. And part of that is I got to continue to provide value to my loyal subscribers. Speaking of loyal subscribers, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do now and hit that like button and turn on notifications, because we put videos out like this all the time that are designed to help you grow your business. Anyway, so we'll head over here to the kitchen. So this is going to be just a real brief tour. We're not going to get into, I'm not going to show you all the restrooms and stuff, but this is the kitchen. It works. There's, one of the things about actually buying and closing on the house, there's tons. This is what I think one of the top agents, he said, this is a crown jewel. And I wish I could kind of lay out the neighborhood, but in our neighborhood, there's hundreds and hundreds, there's thousands of homes. But this home, and they don't have street names, they all go by a number, and this is actually number 1. And that's what I like the best. I like number one. Anyway, so got a little place where you can go outside here. Nice kitchen. There's 2 more bedrooms and a little maid's quarter down there and a garage. We won't get into all that today. But if you ever come out here, you're more than welcome to stop by. This is my office. This is my favorite part. Favorite part of the office, got the old ring light. If you want a ring light, I'll put a link in the description. You can buy one on my Amazon channel. And got the Trek bike with the Wahoo kicker. But anyway, this is where I do most of my video. My favorite part about this room, outside of the King flip chart, where we get to do a lot of our brainstorming, and this old fancy dancy Louis Vuitton bag that actually belongs to a 6-year-old, this is Jay's son's, is my pictures of Mr. Dr. Dre and Rockefeller. So I've always admired Dr. Dre because he is a producer, right? Produces value in the marketplaces and helps other people do it. If you read Digital President, it's about creating that hit factory. So I thought it was always a good idea to have a Dr. Dre in the hit factory. I feel like that's where he belongs. This was kind of like where the kids and I would watch movies and stuff. Down here on the end is my middle son's room, and this is my youngest son's room. We ordered this bed, about the shipping, but we ordered my other son's bed a year ago, and it literally came into port in Florida, but it's actually not here. He wanted a very specific bed. He wanted a green bed. His favorite color is green. So we let him pick out his bed, and still not here a year later. Then down here at the end, this is kind of like the mother-in-law suite, if you will. It's my son Cruz's room. And again, Cruz actually Cruz big for his age. He's 7 years old, but he likes to ride big bikes. So I'm kidding, that's my buddy Chris's bike. Got a little balcony over here, another full restroom. Anyway, it was It's a great bedroom. And my wife wanted to have as many double beds in the bedroom so that when we had company come visit us in Puerto Rico. And let me tell you one thing about Puerto Rico is people will come visit you. They can live down the street from you for a year. They can live an hour away for a year. You're going to only see them on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Move to Puerto Rico, you can't get rid of them. Boom. This is the master, also known as Duke's room. And we'll save that for last. We got a laundry room, another guest bedroom, full bath. We have, again, a lot of little balconies. These are actually really nice to have. Boom. Got to keep them locked though, you know. Never know who's gonna climb up to the top and try to come in, Goldilocks style. Then we have over here my son Cash's room. And listen, because I don't want to just clean up. I'm gonna show you how this room looks. And so I'm gonna show you. This is my packing style, okay? Because I'm actually packing. This is my son Cash's room. But what I do is I put all my stuff, I have to lay it all out. My vitamins, my toiletry bag, my long sleeve t-shirts, all my camera gear. And so fortunately, this is the reality. The reality is I am packing, and I chose to use Cash's room. But Cash's room, it's one of my favorite rooms. It's a great room. Got another beautiful bathroom. And y'all have seen one of those before. I'm sure you used one today. All right, so this is the master bedroom, and we've literally debated. We debated whether I should make the bed or not. I chose not to make the bed, and here's why. I don't think videos have to be perfect, right? And one of the things that I think people do that doesn't make them successful on YouTube and online is they try to do everything perfect. And so in the spirit of eating my own dog food, I'm gonna show you what a bed looks like. I'm sure you've seen an unmade bed before, but I'm not making the bed, and it's for a reason. It's actually for two reasons. So anyway, those are my snowshoes over here on the ground. I got those out because I heard it's icy in Dallas, and I'm flying back to Dallas. This is how I like to make my bed. This is actually called the Michelangelo method. If you've never seen it, it's an abstract way of making the bed. But anyway, this is this is where I spend a lot of time. You know, one of the things I do in the evenings in this room, which is my favorite, is I'll sit with these little balls and I'll ask questions. I'll be like, should I do this? And then I'll take this ball and I'll throw it. And I don't hit the dill. I feel like dude perfect. All right, last one. All right, oh, no, one more. Boom, 10. That's a 10. So anyway, this is the bedroom. There's actually I think they call it well, there's another room up there. We'll go up there. I'll show you what it looks like. But don't be filming my feet. My camera girl likes to film feet. And so this was gonna be like another podcast. This is a really great room. Obviously, there's things that you need to do. These were all of my kids' toys that we shipped here. They're gonna become the toys of a very lucky kid somewhere here in Puerto Rico pretty soon. You can see from down here, you can kind of look and see the pool area.